Checking in from Santa Clara on Wednesday. 49ers had their first practice of the week as they prepare to face the New England Patriots week 4. That game is Sunday at Levi Stadium. The 49ers injury report for Wednesday. Deebo Samuel did not practice due to the calf injury. Javon Hargrave, of course, the triceps injury. That's going to knock him out for the rest of the season. D. Winters with the ankle injury didn't practice. And then Trent Williams has an illness. He didn't practice either. So a little bit of good news for the 49ers as George Kittle returns to limited practice with his hamstring injury. And then Brock Purdy is a full go. He had the back situation. He was sore on Monday after running 10 times, 41 yards. So he is good to go. I would say Deebo Samuel probably out for another week. We'll see if he's going to be able to go October 6th against the Arizona Cardinals. And we'll see the same thing with Ricky Pearsall. Kyle Shanahan did not have any injury updates on Ricky Pearsall as far as what his availability looks like down the road. He has to miss the first 4 games of the season as he's on the non-football injury list. Shanahan also didn't have any update on Christian McCaffrey, who is seeking an opinion on his Achilles tendonitis, seeking that opinion in Germany. So no updates there. Talked to Brandon Ayuk a little bit on Wednesday about how his season is going. His numbers are about half of what they were on a game in, game out basis last season. Of course, the 49ers have found that Juwan Jennings can certainly pick up the slack for that, which he has. But Ayuk said that he is noticing that teams are playing him a little bit differently this season. And, a lot of that I'm sure has to do with who's not on the field. George Kittle missed last week's game. Deebo Samuel missed last week's game. And of course, Christian McCaffrey hasn't played in a game this year. And so a lot of times I think last year, Ayuk was probably the 4th player on the 49ers offense that teams would game plan against. Now he's basically number 1. And he says that he can tell that teams know what he likes to do with Brock Purdy, how they have that connection, and they're trying to take that away. But he did note that, that does open stuff up for guys elsewhere, such as Jennings, and we'll see how it develops over time. Maybe it helps the running game out a little bit as well. But Jordan Mason getting off to a good start in his 3 games as a ball carrier. As for Jennings, he's on pace for a career year and a career year in a big way. Now, it'd be difficult to imagine that he's going to keep up that pace because, coming off the week 3 game, 11 catches, 175 yards, and 3 touchdowns. But through 3 games, he has 18 catches, 276 yards total, and those 3 touchdowns. His previous career high in catches and receiving yards came in 2022 when he had 35 catches for 416 yards. So he's more than halfway there on both of those accounts. And his top year as far as catching touchdown passes was in 2021 when he had 5. That was when he was a first-year player. And I say first-year player, he wasn't a rookie. His rookie season was 2020 when he was drafted in the 7th round. That first year he spent on the practice squad and then worked his way into the mix in 2021 after Kendrick Bourne had left for the New England Patriots. So another thing, talked to Ronnie Bell at his locker right before practice, and he is clearly just trying to get through what happened on Sunday with the big drop late in that game that potentially could have helped the 49ers win the game, pass down the field. He said, I felt the route was good. I got open, everything about it, just got to finish the play. And he said, it's tough. It's tough, man. But that's what he said. Just got to finish that play. Something that, clearly is bothering him and rightfully so. That was a big play in that game. But he did say that, one of the better things that came through from that and that helped him get through it was just the leadership that Brock Purdy showed in the couple days since that play. He said Purdy's been coming to him and talking to him and really trying to help lift his spirits. What Ronnie Bell said was it helps when you have guys like that who have your back. He helped me a ton to get back up so I could move forward, move past it, and help the team win games. Okay, what else will help the team win games is a better defense. I think the defense has fallen far below expectations through these three games. Both the run defense, but I think mostly the pass defense. I think the 49ers expected their pass defense to be a lot better this season than it was last year, with the addition of Leonard Floyd, an outside pass rusher that they really haven't had opposite of Bosa since Bosa's been in the league. But Leonard Floyd's pass rush, his pressure hasn't been there on a consistent basis. They got to get that going. But also the pass defense, as far as the secondary goes, 49ers' weakness last year was whenever they would go to their nickel defense, they really didn't have a fifth defensive back who could step in and make plays. And the 49ers thought they had that, not only with Isaac Yiadom coming in after a good season with the Saints, but also Renardo Green, second round draft pick from Florida State. He was kind of seen as, the number 4 cornerback and also the number 2 nickel. Well, Kyle Shanahan, speaking on Wednesday, talked about the pass defense, and he says that basically all three levels of the 49ers defenses have had their issues in pass defense. And so that comes from the pass rush not being as consistent as they would like. That comes from the linebackers, specifically anybody not named Fred Warner in pass coverage. Whereas last year with the 2 inside guys, Fred Warner and Dre Greenlaw probably had the best tandem, the best pair of linebackers in the NFL as far as being able to do everything, including coverage on third downs. 49ers have had some difficulty there with Devondre Campbell giving up a lot of plays in coverage and also having the big penalty against the Rams that moved them down the field to get into position for the winning field goal. And then, of course, the defensive backfield's been some mix-ups in the backfield, some penalties deep down the field, some completions and all that. So 49ers last year were the only defense in the league that had more interceptions than touchdowns allowed. This year, it's not looking that way. 5 touchdowns allowed, only the 2 interceptions. And now the 49ers are out without Javon Hargrave for a while, the rest of the season. And so they're going to have to compensate for that. I spoke a little bit to Yetur Gross-Matos, and he said that it's basically not one person who's going to be able to step in and give the 49ers what Javon Hargrave gave them. Hargrave, by the way, the second highest paid player on the team. Had he been the game-changing presence that the 49ers might have hoped he would be? Probably not, but there was still a lot of optimism about where his season was heading, but now his season is over after 3 games. So it's going to be a combination of guys who step into that role to compensate for that loss. More than likely on base downs, Jordan Elliott, who's a big run stuffing kind of guy who started a lot of games with the Browns, but also Kevin Givens coming in. And then nickel situations, Gross-Matos will be a guy who can rush the passer from inside. 49ers will probably make some roster moves to bring up somebody from the practice squad, but they know that it's a difficult situation, whereas all the injuries up to this point basically have been on the offensive side with Noah McCaffrey, Deebo Samuel, or George Kittle. 49ers started the season without Talanoa Hufanga, but he's back now. They're going to go a few more games, maybe half the season, without Dre Greenlaw, but now Javon Hargrave out for the year. So 49ers are going to have to do some different things defensively, probably schematically on defense to cover for that. Shanahan said they'll probably look for some different fronts. Maybe they have to blitz more on third downs to get to the quarterback, but that's a big loss, losing Javon Hargrave for the season. So that's it for now. Be sure to look for the latest 49ers Talk podcast that should be dropping either Wednesday evening or early Thursday morning with me and Jennifer Lee Chan. Preview this upcoming game, also the Ask Papa segment. And then I also chat with Tom Curran from NBC Sports Boston to get you set for this upcoming game, 49ers and the New England Patriots.